Hey guys, and welcome to another WFM Tipsy Thursdays. I am your show host, the Contact Center Whisperer, the CEO and founder of Solid Rock Consulting. And this week we're back with another WFM tip, and we're talking about what is ACW. This week we have the amazing guest with us, Jonathan Hall. Jonathan, thank you so much for taking the time to come and share your thoughts, inspirations, tips, strategies. I'm super excited to hop into this week's topic. But before we do, tell me, when did you first fall in love with workforce management?
Sure, great question. Thanks for having me, Juanita. And I should say it wasn't love at first sight, and that's mainly because it wasn't something I chose directly. But when I discuss WFM with people, I say it was like serendipity because I was a team of about 9 help desk analysts very many years ago, and when we were purchasing WFM software, someone just pointed to me and said, "Jonathan, you're the workforce management guy." But as I learned more about workforce management and really dove in and then made it a career, what made me fall in love with it is I treat numbers and data as puzzles. And everybody talks about the art and science of WFM. And I think half of the art and the thing I love about it is the idea that we're dealing with human capital, right? The decisions we make are impact people's lives and how they feel about their jobs. And I think effective workforce management ensures that we're really utilizing that human capital in the best way possible. And that when we do our job well, everybody's happy, the business is happy, the client base is happy, and then the agents are happy as well.
You are literally about to make me start. And see, I'm not an emotional person, but but you're gonna make me start crying because that's why I do workforce. I literally was just making a post about this not too long ago, and I was talking about I could do anything, right? I'm a licensed cosmetologist, or I was anyway. So I love hair, I love the arts, I love music. What I love so much about workforce management, CX and EX and business is that it impacts people, right? Like I'm a fan of Zig Ziglar, and so he said
Oh, wow.
something. He said something around like building people and people will build the business. I so firmly believe in that. And I believe workforce management has that impact on people. It can build people and you can build the business simultaneously. So, all right. Anyway, let's hop into this topic, okay? Because you're
Sounds
gonna take
good.
me to church here in a second. Okay. So our topic this week is ACW. So everybody knows workforce management is known for having the 3-letter acronym. Okay. In your own words, tell us, what is ACW and why is it impactful?
Yeah, so ACW is after call work, is how I recognize it. It stands for that. And what I recognize ACW as, it's very call center focused, but it can go to other channels as well, is the time after an interaction with the client has ended or a customer has ended. And some people refer to it as wrap. And it's the time after that when they're still working on the customer's issue. The top clock is still ticking from a handle time perspective as
Mm-hmm.
they wrap up the work to complete that transaction and file the ticket or whatever the system is.
Why do you think that that's so important? Is it something that we should track? Why is that different than handle time?
Yeah, I think it's important to track individually and as part of handle time. A common error sometimes with somebody new to workforce is ignoring that time and forgetting and just focusing on the actual transaction time with the client, the conversation time. So I think it's critical to measure separately because it is a different type of work. And then also to track and have goals associated with it, depending on how your business operates and what that time is designed for.
I love it. So give me a myth in your years of, we talked a little bit about some of the organizations that you've been a part of and been some pretty big ones. Tell me some of the myths that you've seen around ACW and working with or managing ACW.
Yeah, I think the major myth is understanding it, and sometimes people think it should be eliminated and
Mm.
not used at all. Which, again, I think depending on what works for your business model, if you go through your concepts and how you believe clients and their issues should be handled and treated, is coming up with a goal that makes sense to your business. But I think just a blanket saying, "Oh, it's not needed whatsoever, we shouldn't even utilize it," I think that's a big myth within
Yeah.
contact centers.
So on the flip side of that, give us a tip or a strategy that you've seen organizations employ when it comes to ACW, working with ACW?
Yeah, I've worked in different contact centers with different philosophies, right? I think a lot of it depends on being respectful of clients' time. And I've worked in some areas where it had a really short ACW target, and they really wanted most of the work to happen with the customer still live on the line. And where that makes sense for somebody who's focused on first contact resolution and really ensuring that we're not getting a follow-up contact related to that one, sometimes it's very important to make sure that you got the client on the line. So as you're doing that work on the ticket, there's a follow-up question that's needed and the client's no longer there, is really recognizing what work should be done with the client live and being respectful of client's time, and then making sure that your process are set up such that the work that's conducted in that after call wrap is work that doesn't need the client's presence. So that was kind of a long answer.
No, that's good. That's good, because what you're at the core of what you're talking about is tying ACW to the customer experience, right? Like, does this make sense to keep the customer on because of the type of work that we're handling for this customer as it relates to, you know, again, for our overall goal of first call resolution and making sure first contact resolution, if we're talking about a different channel, right? Making sure that they don't have to call back, we get them taken care of right away, versus when it is appropriate to say, okay, well, let's go ahead and get them taken care of, right? This is a 911 call, right? An emergency situation. We can't be sitting on the call with them for forever. We can wrap, you know, leave notes or whatever the case may be post the call. So really tying that to the outcome and the customer, keeping the customer experience, which is why I'm always preaching, right? Workforce management directly impacts customer experience, employee experience, and business profitability. They are not things that should be solved in silos, a part of WFM sitting in a corner somewhere. Anyway,
exactly.
But you don't get me started, okay? Okay. So thank you so much for that tip. I love that tip. As you can see, I can go on and on about it. Where can the people find you if they want to reach out to you and pick your brain on some of your other experiences around workforce management?
Sure. I'm always available on LinkedIn. Jonathan Hall is my first and last name. I work for Stitch Fix at this point, but I think LinkedIn's the best spot to reach me. Happy to help.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jonathan, for coming to hang out with me. I do not take it for granted. You could be anywhere doing anything. As a matter of fact, you probably have things to do right this second. Awesome. Listen, super dope. Okay. I really love that interview. Jonathan talked through, again, some of the myths around just eliminating ACW altogether and not being needed, and some tips and strategies around working with ACW, making sure that you understand when to use it, what's important for your organization and for your environment. So again, I hope that was helpful. Until next week, go be great and make impact. See y'all soon. Bye.